I was 15 years old when I started babysitting for a family in a quiet suburb just outside Birmingham. It was the kind of neighborhood that looks harmless in the daylight, but at the night it feels like it gets erased from the world. The streetlights were spaced too far apart. The houses all looked the same, and once it got dark, everything just blended into the heavy, uncomfortable silence. I arrived around 6 p.m. that Friday. The parents were going out for dinner and said they'd be back by midnight. Maybe earlier, if things went smoothly. They had two kids, Noah, who was 9 at the time, and Amelia, who was 7. Honestly, they were really easygoing kids. The kind of kids that every babysitter hopes for. No arguments, no tantrums, just quiet routines and cartoon noises in the background. I remember thinking this was gonna be an easy night. That thought didn't last. Around 10 p.m., something in the house changed. Not in a dramatic way, but in a subtle way that made no sense. But still made my stomach turn. I had just finished getting the kids ready for bed when I heard it. A car pulling into the driveway. Not fast, just arriving. I stopped mid-step. Noah noticed first. He looked up and asked, "Is that Mom and Dad?" I shook my head and said they said midnight. But even as I said it, I already felt it. A small spike of unease you can't really explain. I walked into the hallway, looked through the narrow glass panel beside the front door. And there it was. A car in the driveway. Engine running, headlights off. No movement that I could see. Just sitting there like it had no intention of leaving anytime soon. I stared at it for a few seconds, trying to convince myself it was just someone who was lost or turning around. Then, 3 knocks. My whole body locked up. Not loud, not aggressive. Controlled. Like whoever was on the other side already knew they had time. I turned slowly. Amelia was already behind me, holding on to my sleeve without saying a word. "Shall we open it?" she whispered. I didn't even answer her properly because I was already stepping closer to the door. And that's when I saw him. A man standing outside, holding a pizza box. At first, your brain tries to make it normal. Delivery guy, wrong house, simple mistake. But nothing about him matched that explanation. No uniform, no branded jacket, no delivery bag, nothing. Just a man in his late 30s or early 40s, wearing a wrinkled shirt, dirty trousers, and dark baseball cap pulled too low that I couldn't even see his eyes. But it wasn't his clothes that made my chest tighten. It was his face. That smile. Too wide and too still, yet too deliberate. Like it had been held in the place for too long. Like it didn't belong there naturally. Noah stepped closer behind me. "Is it pizza? Is it for us?" he asked quietly. I didn't take my eyes off the man and said no immediately. "Go upstairs, both of you, now." They didn't argue, they just moved fast. And I stayed at the top of the stairs where I could still see the front door. The man hadn't moved, still holding the pizza box, still smiling, still looking directly at the glass like he knew exactly where I was standing. Minutes felt like hours, and then his hand shifted, slow at first. Then he reached for the doorknob and started shaking it. Not once, not testing, pulling it like he expected it to open if he kept trying. The sound of the rattle echoed through the hallway like it didn't belong inside a normal house. My hands went cold instantly, but I didn't move. The door held, locked. Eventually he stopped and just stood there again, smiling, looking straight through the door like it wasn't a barrier at all. A few minutes passed like that. No sound, no movement, just him standing. Then suddenly he stepped back, slowly, still facing the door, still smiling. And then he started walking backwards off the porch, one step at a time, never turning around, never breaking eye contact with the house, like leaving meant losing control or something. He reached the driveway and paused. The car engine was still running. He got in, no headlights, no rush. Just sitting there for a moment in complete darkness. Then he reversed out slowly and disappeared into the street, like he'd never been there at all. I stayed frozen at the top of the stairs long after the sound was gone. Even when the street went silent again. Even when the house felt normal on the surface. Just something about the way he left didn't feel like an ending. It felt like a pause. I didn't sleep that night. I kept checking the windows, checking the door, checking the driveway every time I heard something. But nothing happened. Eventually, I convinced myself it was over. Just some disturbed man, I thought. Wrong house, wrong night, wrong everything. At least that's what I told myself. Until the next morning. The sun was barely up when I noticed something outside the house. At first I thought it was trash, something left on the porch. But when I opened the front door, it was the pizza box, sitting perfectly centered on the doormat. The same one he was holding last night. My hands went cold immediately. I didn't remember hearing anything. No footsteps, no car, nothing. I stood there for a few seconds, just staring at it. Then I slowly picked it up. It was heavier than it should have been. Not food heavy. Wrong heavy. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. Inside, it wasn't pizza. There was only one thing. A stack of printed photos of me